Nice.
I'm sorry.
Knocking stuff around. Hey, it's the Ashley and Gus show.
I'm busy knocking things over right as we start.
I hit play and everything gets flying.
Woo! I put my arms out.
It's the Ashley and Gus Couplepreneurs show where we tell you what it's like to be a 24/7 together couple and run a couple businesses together
and still like each other. Actually, we're madly in love.
You're not going to see us next week because of we're producing an event.
That's right. It's really hard for us to host these when we're on hotel internet.
Yeah, we're on a hotel internet.
As robust as the one that we have. So as much as we would love to see you next Tuesday, I don't think we're going to be able to do that.
So tonight, we're going to talk about balancing business with travel. Creating a sustainable lifestyle. Ashley and I travel a lot. We know that we talk about this on the show. We traveled this weekend.
We did. We traveled Sunday morning. We left the house to go to a
about 2 hours away
event.
We stayed overnight.
We stayed overnight, and then we came back the next day, and we were
super busy.
World. It was completely.
I'll give a shout out to Kalahari Resorts.
Absolutely.
That's where we were. A good friend of ours invited us up there to tour the property and hang out at the water park and have an amazing steak dinner.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And it was a phenomenal night. We got to learn about the property, and now we hopefully can bring business to that property.
Absolutely. And just to give you a sense, I mean, we're super busy. We have an event coming up, 2 events coming up next week. And we were even thinking, like, should we go on this? And we were like, yeah, we need to go. Yeah. But we were also very intentional about making sure that we had a list of all of the calls that we needed to make on the way home on Monday so that we could, continue doing business because that's what we need to do right now.
So let's talk about 10 things.
10 things.
And just to make we travel well together and just
we do.
Just about every time we're traveling, it's for business. It's something work related.
Yes, people say, "Oh, you're going on vacation," and we're like, "No, not really." But that's okay. We have fun everywhere we go, and some places better than others, right?
So, number 1, embrace technology. A couple years ago, probably
what do you mean by that?
Use project management tools, and this is a big one. We use cloud storage.
It's true, we do.
We use multiple cloud storage platforms. We are, in fact. Even though it was a Sunday, we still had work to do. We're confident enough with our cloud storage and the stuff we need and the platforms we use that we have. We just brought our cell phones. We didn't bring computers this week.
Right. I decided it just wasn't going to make sense for me to bring a laptop.
So if there was a crisis or something happening, someone, what happens in our world, someone might buy a package of tickets and need some discounts to get their other people registered, and we have to send out links and create a special link and do something like that. We can do that from our cell phone. Right. Somebody needs an image, they're creative. We have that on Dropbox or Google Drive. I would say this too.
I mean, I'll flat out admit I'm probably a late adopter to technology. Gus is probably what you would call an early adopter to technology. After my last laptop failure, realized that having everything backed up on the cloud was a really good idea. Yes. So that I wouldn't. So every time, and lately, the more recently we upgrade softwares, they're all cloud based. So knowing that if if there's some catastrophe in one of our laptops, I can pretty much continue doing what I was doing. Without having to worry about what's on that hard drive. So.
Yeah, now with AI, you can set some automations and stuff like that, the things that can happen. This is about, a lot of the things we're talking about is keeping your business running while you're traveling, making sure, if you are going leisure travel, people do that.
I've heard.
If you are going leisure travel, you have the opportunity to quickly address any issues that might come up.
Yeah.
Interesting for us, when we travel, like the last trip we were on, we were sitting on the beach. We were on the beach. Our room looked at the ocean in southern Florida, and we worked in the hotel for 5 days straight.
Pretty much. Well, we were attending a conference, so we
had busy work too.
We were in the conference sessions, but I will note that the one day, Easter Sunday, We did not pull our laptops out. I really had protected, like, this is the day that we're not going to do any work. We need to relax. We need to chill.
All right.
And we did. So
it's
about balance.
Number 2, set realistic expectations on what you can accomplish during your travel.
I'm
going to say something really.
I'm so funny at this.
You are. So it's really
I
funny.
Always say. So can I just?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I'll fully admit I've been producing conferences and traveling to them for 25 years, and always in my brain, I can do that while I'm on the plane, or I can do that while I'm there, or I'll remember to do this when I'm there.
But here's the issue.
Okay.
You were brought up in an unfair household.
Okay.
Because Ashley's brother is a master of, if he's got 8 minutes.
That man can squeeze.
He'll go see the entire Louvre in 8 minutes.
Out of every day.
Yeah. He can, but he plans that and gets it absolutely right to do that.
What he doesn't do, here's what he does do. He takes 100% control and responsibility for his calendar and his time.
Right.
So that's great. That's what he does.
If it was up to Ashley, she'd be knocking on the airplane door and say, I'm here.
I'm here. Can we go now? Yeah. I'm working on reaching a point where I can actually do that. But
we had an incident this morning.
What's that?
We had an incident this morning.
What incident?
You sort of skid into home plate on a task, and I'm like...
It's like, I got this, I'll be ready in time. I was ready,
30 seconds.
Not leave enough time.
I
went live
her
with the
guest
speaker.
She was speaking with had called me and is everything okay?
Can you help me navigate this? I'm like, yeah, I've got a hairdryer on.
I am really good.
You're excellent at it. I will just note this, that after all of these years, I'm slightly better at knowing, no, I'm not going to have time to do that. I need to do it right now, or I'll need to do it later because it isn't that,
If you're going to the airport,
yes,
these days,
yes,
especially international travel,
Gus is really good.
You should be there 3 hours before your flight.
Okay.
We travel a lot. We tend to be there an hour.
I find that horrifying. Yet
but
when
we tend to be there an hour.
I'm so much less stressed out.
But we tend to be there an hour before our boarding, which is usually a half hour before. Right. However, then I usually pack on 15 minutes on that. And the amount of times that 15 minutes has gotten used. And we're also pre-TSA or pre-TSA approved or pre-check and all that stuff. So there are days of not having the pre-check, we would have missed flights.
Totally.
I mean, there's a line
there's no question. So, yes, we are much better. I am much better. I'm much better about being realistic about what I can and can't do when I travel.
Yeah.
So for that, may I do number 3? Number 3 is prioritize communication. Establish clear communication channels with clients, partners, and teams to ensure smooth operations while traveling.
It's easier these days.
I'll tell you one thing I don't do, and I don't think you do it either. I do not have an out-of-office reply on my laptop. I just doesn't make sense for me to do that because I'm pretty much consider myself 24/7.
I have 5 email addresses.
Okay, that'd be a lot
for different companies. I just have no. I'm available. If you are a customer,
just reach out.
Prospective customer, or client, even supplier, I'm available 24/7. If I'm awake, my phone's there. I'm not doing it. That'd be like a workaholic. I just do
exactly.
What I do.
And frankly, if you're on vacation or you're on a holiday, I'm probably not, but that doesn't bother me. If you need me, reach out. But yes, I think that.
Ashley went hardcore this weekend.
What'd I do?
She didn't do it on purpose.
What'd I do?
You didn't bring your phone charger.
Oh, I didn't.
You want to talk about
So I had the charger in the car, and when we got to our destination, I was like, "Oh, whoops!"
Could have gone to the resort for $50.
I probably could have asked Lost and Found to just bring me a little.
There's a travel
brick.
hack. There's a travel hack. I lost my.
If you say I lost my charger or I lost
my iPhone charger,
someone will come out with this massive box of chargers and just take one, and then maybe donate it when you leave.
You're gonna donate one someplace.
So yeah, it's kind of, I call it sort of the paying it forward. I didn't ask for one when we were at the property where we were because I just didn't feel like I needed it. But I definitely didn't use my phone as much.
In the communication world these days, most people have some degree of mobile or some degree of remote work.
Yes.
If you're a thought leader or a thought worker, you have some degree of remote work.
Especially now, I can definitely say that since COVID, we've seen a lot more of our contacts that we work with in the utility industry have we have both their work number and their mobile number. And in many cases, it's now just moved over to their mobile number. So I think people are less freaked out if you call their mobile number than they would have been before. Like, this is my personal phone. Why are you calling me?
Answer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't answer. I will leave a nice long voicemail message for you, assured. Yeah, so number 4 is to leverage time zones. I do this every single day. So schedule meetings and calls strategically to accommodate different time zones.
We work with
and
we
minimize
work from Europe to
disruptions.
Hawaii.
Yeah,
Actually, we work from Australia to Hawaii.
Pretty much. We have
clients.
In fact, our next conference, the Digital Engagement and Social Media for Utilities Conference, which is on Monday and Tuesday, May 6th and 7th. Join us in person or virtually. We have a speaker who's presenting from Melbourne, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So we coordinated with their co-presenters I know we don't have that as one of our clocks.
There's somewhere between 10 and 13 hours difference time-wise for us.
Okay, right. So our guy who does our videos is
12 hours.
12 hours. So that's easy to remember. But yeah,
so
for that, they, his co-presenters who are going to be in person at the conference have said, or she have said, hey, we need the last slot of the day so that we, because we're asking our client to join us in this presentation. So we'll be at, I think it's like 4:30, which now I'm thinking about it. I hope that doesn't mean she has to get up at 4:30 in the morning her time.
Yeah.
But yes, that when I'm scheduling calls, I try to be very aware of, like, oh wait, they're in California. I'm not calling them at 6 o'clock in the morning their time, even though it's 9 o'clock my time. Like, I just try to be very aware of that and make sure that I'm hitting people at a time that is respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I think most California people are kind of used to, like, starting early.
Yeah, if you're in another country or something.
That's true. What's number 5, Gus?
Invest in co-working space. So if you're a road warrior and there's a lot of co-working, I know the ones in Philadelphia here. If you join one, you pretty much join 160 of them across the country.
It's kind of like having a fitness club with locations all across the country. This is like a co-working station so that you can use it anywhere you need.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and they have everything you need, which is nice. You find a nice, quiet little corner.
Yes.
Make it yours.
There you go. Embrace flexibility.
Number 6 is embrace.
So we did this last month. We had a long layover in Orlando for like 6 hours, probably 6 hours.
And we were at the Orlando airport and we were like, oh, well, we need to eat, but we also have a long time before our next flight. Go ahead.
So we set up in the hotel there.
It's the Hyatt.
The Hyatt.
It's the Hyatt.
We set up at the Hyatt at the airport.
Nice
yeah, it's really nice. And we found a remote corner with great internet access and
not too noisy.
We were able to work for 4 or 5 hours.
Absolutely.
And, it just it was something to do.
So number 7 is set boundaries. Clearly communicate your travel schedule and availability to avoid work interruptions during designated personal time. So when Gus and I are at the conference destination, we generally we come in a couple of days early just to make sure that everything's set up as much as possible.
A canceled flight, like happened to us last time in 3 days.
Weather can happen and kind of mess that. So we try to get there early enough so that if we need to set up things, if we need to print badges.
We are running the show.
We are the ones running the show.
We have no backup.
So we have to make sure that, there's nobody else who can run it without us. We need to be there. So we're there a couple of days in advance. We usually like to stay a couple of days after just to get a little rest and relaxation because, or sort of, I call it almost like a team retreat. We kind of take that time focus on what we need to do next. Do we need to start working on things? And Gus and I have gotten into a bit of a cadence where we'll get up in the morning, get do a workout, grab some breakfast, and then we'll kind of give ourselves a set amount of like a block of 3 hours where we do nothing but work. We just plow through. It's
almost more productive.
It is,
because you don't have the distractions of the home office,
right? And it's we know we're not going to do it all day long, so we just go hard for 3 hours. We'll just take this block of time. Are there people we need to contact right now? Are there things we need to take care of? People we need to call? Are there just do that, and then we'll stop, have lunch, and then we'll go to the pool or go to the ocean or whatever there is that we want to do in the afternoon.
Still taking phone calls.
So we are. But it's nice to have a little bit of rest and relaxation time. Do you want me to?
Sure.
Or I will. Number 8 is to outsource strategically. Delegate tasks that can be effectively handled by others when you're traveling. For sure, there are times where I can't do it all. Neither can Gus. And
we do have team members.
We do have team members, and sometimes
we do have some remote delegation things
absolutely.
we use.
So there are times where I will just say, "Hey, you're in front of this right now. I am not. Can you send this person this link, or can you reach out to this person and let them know we're out of town right now, but we'll be back." Mm-hmm. So that's
it goes hand in hand with that. Is build a remote team. We have that. We're a remote business. We have a remote team. That might include you can get virtual assistants.
Yeah.
I know one of my good buddies who has a really large business. I mean, he runs everything through his assistant. I know another buddy has 2 assistants.
There you go.
It runs everything through those people. So even me calling him and saying, "Hey, dude, let's get together for lunch," he'll be like, Call my assistant, please. She has my schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And which is great for both, right? For you, you're protecting your time. You're making sure that you're there to focus on what needs to be focused on. But you also kind of have somebody in your corner who's your project manager, who can handle some of those tasks that end up taking. You ever have a task that you think is going to take 2 minutes and it ends up taking like 15? All the time.
3 hours.
So that can help protect your time too. I think number 10 is my favorite because this one's really important to me, and that's to prioritize well-being. Schedule downtime during travel. As I mentioned, we do those afternoons where we just sort of chill during travel to avoid burnout and maintain a healthy work-life balance. I like to get in a morning run. Unless I party a little too much the night before, but I love to get my morning run. Gus, if we're at the beach, loves to go get grounded and be in the water and just have that experience. It's something that we don't do here in Philadelphia nearly enough.
The water is not conducive to that.
True. Although I did go for a nice run, a good 64-degree run this morning. Which
the water's not
delightful. No, I get that. That's totally cool. And I got to see all sorts of bunny rabbits and deer and other wildlife when I go out for a run in the morning. So we have some bonus points. Do you, I think that first one I can speak to. You want me to jump on that? So some of our bonus talking points here is to don't now you've moved it. Discuss the benefits of travel for business inspiration and personal growth. One of the things that we try to do when we're away, even if we're at a location that we go to frequently, is to just walk in an area we've never walked before, see something we've never seen before, maybe catch an attraction that we've never been to before, because you just don't know what you don't know.
We also check out the other hotels.
We check out other hotels in case we are in a situation where our favorite hotel is no longer available or not available for the dates that we want. We know that we have a couple of backups and we're familiar with them. We've seen them with our own eyes.
Who did we hear last week?
I'm afraid to ask.
And they were talking about a dear friend of ours who recently passed away, and she's also in the industry. She used to sneak in through the kitchen to go check out their space. she would figure out a way to get
and then get kicked out.
And get kicked out.
I love that.
We got kicked out.
That was we have.
So anyway,
we've busted into a couple of receptions.
How about finances as a couple?
Okay.
I can tell you what we do.
Okay. What do we do?
I have exceptional far vision. I can see
He does
things out there, and I also have vision of what's happening in the world, like
he's got
psychic
that
type
brain.
thing. But I cannot read a piece of paper in front of me without my readers on.
I know where you're going.
So Ashley pretty much handles all of our transactions when we're traveling.
Because sometimes you don't have your readers near you. I usually have slightly better near vision than he does.
Here's the other thing we do.
But it also keeps it consistent. So
we didn't mention this. One of the things we do, we talk about our roles when we're traveling. What we have.
Yes, Gus is the timekeeper.
I handle the time. I watch where we're going.
Trying to figure out.
But you handle the hotel check-in and everything. You always do.
I always do.
Yeah, I handle the logistics in the room.
Yes.
get the ice, get the alcohol, get the snacks for the week.
Absolutely. Yeah. We look like we've got a kitchen set up when we go into a hotel, usually just to make sure that because we're running an event, we need to make sure we have enough snacks. We need to make sure that we don't have to keep running out for things because we're
when
there.
we run the events, it's especially day one. It's like a 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m.
And there's
there
time
might be
to run out and get it.
Oh, and there might be 10 minutes to get back to the room to do something and then get back out.
Yes.
And it'd be like, and I'm usually the person who runs back to the room to get something.
Thank you.
Ashley might be, hey, can you bring me a piece of fruit?
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's like sometimes we try to have our meals with our attendees because that's the best time to bond with them.
But sometimes that's not.
But sometimes that's not, or I have a speaker that needs something while we're during a break, and then I get to the end of the break and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never got to go on a break. So
I didn't eat.
I didn't do other things I need to do.
Right.
So yeah.
we're gonna.
Any others on there that you think are awesomeness?
No, just like everything else when we talk about being a couplepreneur, respect.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
simple.
I respect. Gus and I have learned in however many years we've been together now about how, I know that Gus needs things a certain way for him to be content and feel comfortable with his travel. And I need different things. So I think we do a good job of kind of not getting in each other's way when we're in our planning phases, or I know he needs to go do this. I know I need to go do that. And it comes together just fine because we respect each other. So that's a key distinction. Thank you for bringing that one up.
Yeah, and don't over plan.
Don't overplan. Things won't work out. Stuff happens. Delays happen. We talked
about Plan B last week, but
yeah, this is a little different. But yeah, always know. Focus on what needs to be done urgently before you just start making other.
One of the things last year that happened to us that was kind of funny, and it's just what happened. We were in Chicago, and it was one of the few times we traveled for your son's business or for your son's college visit.
Yes.
Family trip.
It was a family trip.
And we wanted to do the family trip to go visit family. We
wanted to take him on the architecture tour, which is a boat tour in Chicago. If you've never been,
it's pretty cool.
It's a really fun experience.
But they were just sold out. For 3 days.
Ticket in advance.
3 days.
I was like,
we'll go there and do this. And we had the whole thing
planned. Walk up, it'll be fine. And then
we had the whole thing planned out.
The funny part was the first time we walked up, it was sold out. And I'm like, oh, dang. And then I thought, whatever the next day was, it was midweek. It was like a Wednesday. I'm like, oh, it won't be that busy on a Wednesday. It was sold out. I'm like, okay, dumb me.
So we did a Plan B. I forget what we did, but it was fun. Whatever we did
was fun. Chicago's a blast. Yeah. But yeah,
we couldn't get all pissy that we didn't have the plan in place.
It was no one's fault but mine. Could have easily booked it in advance, and again didn't. So whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna roll.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope we offered you some fun tips.